Hello and welcome. In this video, I will be discussing why it is essential that the Department of Education be disbanded and school choice prevail. The debate surrounding government involvement in education has been a contentious one for decades. With the establishment of the Department of Education in the United States, the government assumed a more direct role in shaping educational policy and funding. However, the question arises, does the government's intervention improve educational outcomes? Or does it stifle innovation and limit opportunities? Advocates for disbanding the Department of Education argue that federal oversight often results in a one-size-fits-all approach, which fails to address the unique needs of individual students. School choice, in contrast, offers a more flexible, personalized approach, where parents can select educational options best suited to their children's needs. Let's explore why the Department of Education should be disbanded and why school choice is the superior alternative. Historically, the government has been involved in education to ensure an educated citizenry, promote academic excellence, and foster economic and social mobility. In the early years of the Republic, education was viewed as a public good that was necessary for the success of democracy. However, as society and the economy became more complex, the role of government expanded to regulate educational standards and provide funding. While the government's initial purpose of providing a basic education was noble, over time, its involvement has grown in scope, and the outcomes have been mixed. The creation of the Department of Education in the late 20th century centralized federal control over schools, imposing national standards and curricula. The problem, however, is that these centralized policies fail to account for the individual needs and preferences of local communities and families. What works in one school district may not work in another, and a nationalized education system restricts flexibility and innovation. One of the key criticisms of the Department of Education is that it exerts too much control over the curriculum and funding of schools, which stifles local autonomy. The federal government's involvement often leads to standardized testing, rigid curricula, and a top-down approach that discourages educational diversity. These mandates do not allow local educators, parents, and students to make decisions that best serve their specific needs. In many cases, the imposition of national standards can result in a one-size-fits-all education that may not address regional or cultural differences. Moreover, the U.S. education system, despite increased government spending, has seen stagnant or declining performance in international rankings. According to reports from the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, U.S. students consistently perform below their peers in other developed nations. This persistent underperformance suggests that the current centralized education system is not effectively meeting the needs of students. In addition to stagnant academic outcomes, the centralized control of education often exacerbates inequality. The federal government, in its attempt to ensure equal access to education, has implemented policies that have unintended consequences. For example, No Child Left Behind (NCLB) and other standardized testing initiatives have placed undue pressure on schools, especially those in disadvantaged areas. This has resulted in teaching to the test, where educators focus more on test preparation than on providing a well-rounded education. The emphasis on standardized testing has had the side effect of narrowing the curriculum, leaving less room for creativity, critical thinking, and problem-solving. School choice, in contrast, offers a system where parents have the freedom to choose the best educational option for their children, whether that be a public school, charter school, private school, or homeschooling. Proponents of school choice argue that it fosters competition, promotes innovation, and allows parents to tailor their children's education to their unique needs. One of the primary benefits of school choice is that it encourages competition among schools. When schools compete for students, they are incentivized to improve their quality of education. In the current system, where public schools are often funded based on enrollment and are not subject to the pressures of competition, there is little motivation for schools to improve. However, with school choice, parents can move their children to a school that better suits their needs, forcing underperforming schools to improve or risk losing students. School choice also promotes educational innovation in a system where schools are free to experiment with different teaching methods and curricula. There is greater potential for breakthroughs in educational practices. For example, charter schools and private schools often have the flexibility to implement specialized programs that focus on STEM education, the arts, or other areas of interest that may not be possible in traditional public schools. By allowing parents to choose among a variety of educational options, school choice fosters a diverse and dynamic educational landscape that caters to the needs and interests of individual students. Furthermore, school choice empowers parents by giving them a direct say in their children's education. In the current public school system, parents often have limited influence over the direction of their child's education. School choice, however, allows parents to take an active role in their children's academic journey by selecting the school that aligns with their values and priorities. This not only increases parental involvement but also strengthens the bond between the family and the educational system. School choice is also an effective tool for addressing educational inequality. Contrary to the argument that school choice benefits only wealthy families, studies have shown that school choice programs can significantly improve educational outcomes for low-income students. In many cases, low-income families are trapped in underperforming schools, and school choice provides them with the opportunity to access better educational options. For example, voucher programs and tax credit scholarships can help families afford private schooling or send their children to higher-performing charter schools. By enabling low-income families to choose better educational opportunities, school choice can help break the cycle of poverty and give all students the chance to succeed. The moral argument for disbanding the Department of Education goes above and beyond the practical arguments. Education is a deeply personal matter for families, and parents have a fundamental right to make decisions about their children's upbringing, including their education. The government's involvement in education infringes on the autonomy of parents and reduces the power of families to make decisions based on their values and beliefs. By disbanding the Department of Education and embracing school choice, we can restore parental control and allow families to take charge of their children's futures. The Department of Education, while initially established with the goal of improving education, has become a bureaucratic institution that stifles innovation, limits parental choice, and perpetuates educational inequality. The current system, which is dominated by centralized control, fails to meet the diverse needs of students and has resulted in stagnant academic performance. School choice offers a solution to these problems by promoting competition, innovation, and parental involvement. By disbanding the Department of Education and embracing school choice, we can create a more dynamic, responsive, and effective education system that empowers parents and students alike. Thank you for watching. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button and stay tuned for more.